The Sherwin-Williams Summer Sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off our newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Click the banner to learn more. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Welcome into the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles and Christian Esparza, thank you for making us a part of your Saturday morning. We are live here from the ballpark at America First Square because they're holding a youth clinic today, Christian, and they're getting these kids to hang out with some of the players, some of the coaches as they prepare for the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day that's coming up in September 12th. So this is part of their initiative to get some kids going on the baseball side of things, and it's awesome to be out here at America First Square today.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is a great place to be. I remember, being a kid and some of the things that the professional teams in Utah would do to get the players involved with the community. And that was like the highlight of my youth. Like,
absolutely.
Talking to a couple Jazz players, growing up in northern Utah, we weren't really ever able to come down to do Bees stuff, Salt Lake Bees, but we were just talking to Jenny. We're going to be talking to Jenny here in a couple minutes on air about some of the stuff that they have going on. But kids camps are great. They get to come out here, hang out on the field, do stuff on the field, talk with some of the players and the coaches and learn some skills and really get involved with the team. And, I mean, to do it here at the ballpark at America First Square, no less. I mean, this is an amazing facility. You and I have been talking. Neither of us have been out here before. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful out here in, what is this, West Jordan, South Jordan?
So I think technically South Jordan, yeah.
And it's amazing. You got the mountains in the backdrop. You're kind of out here, and it feels like this is the main draw out here, right?
Absolutely.
It feels like everything out here is for the stadium.
And it's not done, right? The Miller Sports Entertainment, they want to make a whole entertainment district that they're still building up over here to our right. And so I'm excited to see what it looks like when it's all done. But, I mean, the ballpark itself, man, it's just beautiful. Glad that this is our first time out here, man. It's good to come out and be able to see it and take in the environment and see all these kids, man. See all the kids with the families out here getting involved and continuing to make baseball part of their lives, man. It's awesome to see.
Well, and to be on remote for the Saturday show is always fun,
there
right?
You go.
This is our first remote, really, outside of, I mean, we did some tailgate stuff for the Ute games, but outside of that, I think this is our first remote, so since taking over 2 years.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome, man. We love to get out on the road.
So, again, we're out here pumping up Utah Youth Sports Giving Day. It is a statewide campaign that's led by Miller Sports Entertainment and the Larry H. Miller and Family Foundation, as they try to raise $3 million for youth sports organization across the state of Utah. So that's awesome. We'll talk to Jenny here in just a moment. She'll give us more information about that. But Christian, how's your week, man? How's everything going?
This is a crazy week.
It was.
The end of July and beginning of August is one of the drier times in sports. So you have to get really introspective about things, having some deep conversations about Summer League. Thankfully, this year we got, Darren Peterson coming in as the number 2 pick. That brings some excitement, and he played a couple games in Vegas, right? And then when he stopped playing, it's like, okay, now what? So that's kind of where we're at with sports. But got some emails yesterday, right? Training camp just around the corner for college football.
We did.
And we are on the heels of Big 12 Media Days, obviously. So, excited for training camps to start up here in a couple weeks locally. Until then, it's just like, reining in the horses a bit, saying don't get too excited yet. We've still got a long ways to go until anything starts, but it's been a lot of fun the last couple of weeks, especially, watching Darren Peterson take off in Salt Lake City and then in Vegas. Caleb Wilson has been really fun to watch in Vegas Summer League. So there have been some highlights for sure.
Have you seen enough from Darren Peterson in the Summer League to kind of be, I guess, I don't know if okay with where he's at is the right word.
I'm going to be honest with you.
But just seeing what he brought in the first couple of games of Summer League, and, I thought that the turnovers and the fouls were a little bit of an issue right early on, but I don't know if that'll translate directly into some struggles in the regular season. But are you okay with what you saw from Darren Peterson through the course of of what he did play in Summer League.
I wanted more, man. And not as a bet. Like, I really liked what I saw, and so did the Jazz, and I'm assuming that's why they shut him down, right? If they didn't like what they were seeing from him, they would have made him play all of the Summer League. I mean, I know there were some highs and lows for sure. I know some of the games his shooting percentages kind of struggled, but he sat out, 2 games in Vegas?
Yes. Yep.
I wish he would have played all of them, but at the same time, I get it. I get that you're drafting a player with some injury concerns, and he says that those are all behind him now. But at the same time, there's no point in rushing it and throwing him out there just cause.
Just to have him out there.
Because it's Summer League, and
Right.
that's not what is most important. I do like that he squared off against AJ. Would have loved to see him go against Caleb Wilson. I was really hoping to see him in that game, but at the end of the day, I thought he came in and he showed why he was the number 2 pick. I think he showed a lot of positives, even if he got in some foul trouble and struggled with some turnovers and the shooting percentage wasn't there. I think he showed a lot of positives as far as some of the intangibles, honestly, about what made him the number 2 overall pick.
I think I'm excited to see how it looks like now with Keontae George because, obviously one of the things that stood out about Darren Peterson coming into the pre-draft process was the ball handling and how he'll be able to advance the ball for the Utah Jazz. And obviously in the Summer League, right, you don't have the pleasure of doing that with Keontae George. And I think sharing the ball handling duties with Keontae George rather than running the whole show by himself, I think that'll be a huge positive for him. With having the veteran presence, and it's funny to call Keontae George the veteran presence, considering this is his 4th year in the NBA. But he's going to be the veteran presence alongside Darren Peterson as far as the ball handling skills go. And so one of the things that I think the Jazz really needed coming into this offseason was somebody else who can help Keontae George with the ball handling, and I think you got that with Darren Peterson, and I'm excited to see what that all looks like with Keontae George once you're able to get into the regular season. You showed some good signs of it, I think, in Summer League.
Speaking of Darren Peterson, and one thing that we might have to get to later, he was actually on with ESPN yesterday on NBA Today.
Oh.
Did a quick little 4-minute interview, and it was great. But one of the highlights of that interview and why I kind of want to play it later, Malika Andrews asked him about coming in and being a primary ball handler, and if that's his goal with the Utah Jazz, and if he wants to mainly be the primary ball handler. And he straight up said, he kind of brushed it off, and he's like, no, not really. I see myself as kind of a combo guard. And then he brought up Keontae George, and he knows that they can both play on ball and off ball. So I think he really is excited and truly bought into that vision of, you don't have to come in and be the point guard or the shooting guard. Keontae George is talented enough. Ace Bailey's talented enough. You've got enough talent on this in this guard room, right? That you don't need Darren Peterson to come in and be any one specific thing. You can have him come in and do what's most comfortable for him, and maybe that's off ball, maybe that's on ball. It's most likely a little bit of both, right?
What other rookies have stood out for you throughout the course of this Summer League? Obviously, everybody had eyes on AJ DeBonsa, on Cameron Boozer, but who else stood out to you as and obviously Caleb Wilson, but who else stood out to you as far as this guy's got it for the NBA level?
Well, AJ would be the easy answer. I mean, he showed his ability to get the free throw line. Again, his shooting percentages weren't great, but when you've got a guy who can get to the free throw line at will, that's a superpower.
Absolutely.
And that's going to translate to the NBA. But Jackson Lendenborg for the Warriors.
Yeah, man.
Stud from Michigan.
Absolutely.
A lot of controversy with him. Not controversy, but, he was an older prospect coming in. So people were wondering what he would look like. But he led Michigan to the Natty, and he's going to come in and step in right away, honestly, for a Warriors team that's going to need him to be part of the rotation. Whether or not they bring in LeBron James, that is to be seen. But I think they're going to rely on him heavily during his rookie season because that is a very, very old team, and they needed to draft somebody who can come in and step in right away, and I think he's a great fit right away.
We are live here from the ballpark at America First Square. We are watching some of these kids enjoying in some of these youth clinics that the Salt Lake Bees put on. And joining us on headset now, it is Jenny Tassima, the Director of Communications for Miller Sports and Entertainment. Jenny, how's it going?
Good. Thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely.
We're excited. This is awesome. This is a great day. You got some cloud coverage, which is nice. I know some of the days have been really hot. So to come out here and have a youth event, the kids aren't out in the sun all day. But this is awesome. Tell us about some of these youth clinics that are going on here at the ballpark.
Yeah, so we host a few clinics throughout the summer for kids to just come out and enjoy some baseball and softball clinics here at the ballpark and interact with the players and coaches and just have a good time here at the ballpark at America First Square. A lot of this is part of our Kids Club program, which fans can sign up for, and they get access to these clubs, a pizza party with Bumble, some discounted tickets throughout the summer, and a lot of other fun stuff. So you can check that out at our website, slbs.com.
As far as having these clinics go, how important is it to reach out to the community, get some of the kids out here, and get them involved in the game of baseball?
Yeah, it's really important. We've seen that when we just increase access to sport, it goes a long way. And not every child has the chance to play. And so when we can offer free clinics like this and get them just exposed to the game, then maybe they can find something in their community to sign up and play and continue the love of baseball and softball.
What about for the players, too, to have that opportunity to, hang out with the kids and be involved with the community, and especially out here in this area, Daybreak family community is such a part of this area of Utah, right? So what does it mean for the players and the coaches on the team to be involved with this community?
They love it. And as you know, this is our second season here at the ballpark here in downtown Daybreak. And so we're still moving in, getting settled, and just reaching out to the surrounding community. And so we're grateful for the players and the coaches for really leaning in, and they love every opportunity that they have to engage with the community, whether it's with the kids clinics or recently they just were at Veterans on the Course, golfing with veterans, and just reaching out all across the community.
As far as these clinics go, are these clinics open to everybody in the community? And then what kind of skills and experiences do you guys focus on when kids come and participate in these kind of clinics?
Yeah, they're open for anyone. So we do have a cutoff with the amount of kids that can sign up. I think we have about 200 here today.
Oh, that's awesome. Which
is great. And so they'll run through different drills on the field, hitting, catching, grounders, pop flies, running the bases. They even get a tour of the clubhouse sometimes and can see the in-betweens and go in the dugout, which is just fun for the kids. And Bumble will come, which,
Everybody loves Bumble, right?
Everybody loves Bumble.
Yeah.
Another initiative that Miller Sports and Entertainment is leading is Utah Youth Sports Giving Day. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we are so excited. This is the first year that we've done this here in Utah. We are striving to raise $3 million for youth sports nonprofits across the state. And this is a collaborative effort with a lot of donors here in Utah. And right now we are focused on getting youth sports nonprofits to sign up to participate. The Giving Day is September 12th. And it will stay open for a couple of weeks. But September 12th is the day that we need everyone to mark their calendars. When you donate on September 12th, we will match up to $1.5 million that is raised. So that is how we will get to our $3 million goal. And nonprofits can start fundraising, getting people aware of this. And then on the 12th, when they have everyone donate, they can raise, we will match individually for nonprofits $150,000. So they have the potential to get $300,000 on that day, which is great.
That's absolutely incredible. Why is expanding, I guess, the access to youth sports so important right now? Obviously, you're raising money to make sure that these kids have that opportunity. But why at this point? Why is it so important to make sure that these kids have the access to that?
Yeah, well, I think when you think about participating in sports, it's more than just the competition, and it's more than just learning the skill of the sport. It's building life skills. It's building leadership, resilience, how to be a good teammate, how to show up for other people. And those are skills that will translate throughout your entire life, not just when you're actually playing sports. And so we really want to make sure that every kid in Utah has the chance to participate in sport and remove those barriers, which can be cost, equipment, getting to and from practice. If both of your parents are working, how do you get to your games and practices and tournaments? So there are a lot of nonprofits across the state that are addressing these issues. And so this is a really cool opportunity for the community to back this cause and really just get kids out there to play and make lifelong memories and actually set them up for success throughout their life as well.
That's awesome. I love it.
Absolutely. How can people get involved with the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day?
Yeah, so you can follow us on social media, Utah Youth Sports Giving Day, or go to our website, utahyouthsportsgivingday.com. There's information for nonprofits to sign up, and then there's also information just of how the campaign will work in September. So mark your calendars, September 12th, if you'd like to give to Utah Youth Sports Giving Day.
Love it. Anything else that you'd like people to know about this, about the Bees' commitment to the youth sports and about this upcoming Utah Youth Sports Giving Day?
Yeah, I just say that we're trying to really just increase access to sport here at the Bees, also with our other properties with Real Salt Lake and the Utah Royals. And we have soccer clinics as well that are free for the community. And so you can find out more at realsaltlake.com. And then, yeah, we just really want to get more kids out there active and playing and enjoying the game.
I love it. Jenny, thank you so much for taking the time today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jenny.
Absolutely. So that's Jenny Teamsma, the Director of Communications for Miller Sports and Entertainment. Again, just giving you all the information you need to know about Utah Youth Sports Giving Day and about the clinics that the Salt Lake Bees are putting on here for the kids, for community outreach, and to make sure that everybody gets involved. Love that we're out here, Christian. We get to see all this a part of the all this for the community, and again, see all these families and these kids participate in such an amazing event.
Yeah, and just to think about what an opportunity it is for the kids, right? And to come out here and be involved with like a professional sports team.
Absolutely.
And to take the pictures with Bumble and have the pictures of them, doing drills or whatever with the players and
Absolutely.
stuff. Like that's something that they're going to remember and value and cherish for their entire lives. Thank you, Jenny. So this is I love it when you've got these teams that are willing to give back and be involved with the community, but the youth especially.
Highlight growing up, you mentioned it earlier, highlight when you're a kid, you get out here to some of these clinics, you see some of these professional players, you see you get to hang out with the mascots. Those are all that's all a great time, and it's one of the things that stick in your memory. We have more guests coming up to talk about everything that the Bees are doing for community outreach. We've got more people to jump on and talk about the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day throughout the course of today's show. And to give you more information about how you can get involved with the community. We'll take a break here. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll jump into some college football talk. College football is right on the horizon for us. We're all looking excited. We're all looking forward to it, and we're all very excited to get things going with Utah and BYU. We'll talk Big 12 football coming up next here on the Saturday show, live from the ballpark at America First Square here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hey, welcome back in. It's a Saturday show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles and Christian Esparza taking you through your Saturday morning. We're here live at the ballpark at America First Square, the new home of the Salt Lake Bees, as we're here for a youth clinic, and we're pumping up the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day that's coming up in September. We had just had Jenny Teamsma, the Director of Communications from the Miller Sports and Entertainment, jump on, give you a lot of information on that. We'll continue on with those conversations later on, as we'll have more people from the organization come on and pump up the event that they're having today, as well as the upcoming Utah Youth Sports Giving Day. Christian, college football is right around the corner, man, and I'm very, very excited to get things rolling. Very excited to be able to dive in and talk some college football. The Big 12 making some moves yesterday. It was Texas Tech who came in with a $76 million 15-year deal with Galaxy, who's apparently an AI company, for the naming rights of their stadium, which, if I can remember correctly, might be the first deal that you've seen of that nature in Big 12 football. It'll be about $5 million per year. That'll directly go into NIL opportunities for the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Yeah, I'm trying to think through the Big 12. I'm trying to think of like stadium naming rights. There was one of the Florida schools that had to deal with Pitbull.
That's right. Yep.
And honestly, that kind of fell through. He was supposed to perform at the stadium a bunch of times. I don't think he ever did. I can't even remember what Florida school it was. It was
FIU.
Was it?
The other Miami school, yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully this AI company is a little more reliable than Pitbull. But that's a lot of money. You said $76 million?
Yes, about $5 million per year as it breaks down. And I like the deal in the sense that the Big 12 is never short of trying to experiment and figure out ways to bring in revenue. You saw that last week when the Monster deal was announced at Big 12 Media Days. Now you have the Red Raiders who are coming in with their own stadium deal to try to help them with their NIL opportunities. And for Texas Tech, they already have the big booster base, led by Cody Campbell. But now you have an additional income essentially that the Red Raiders will be bringing in as they try to compete for a national championship.
So following Media Days, where are you at as far as the top of the Big 12? I mean, the consensus is BYU and Tech at the top.
Yes.
And then maybe the second tier is Utah, Arizona, and maybe Houston.
Yes.
That's where I sit. Is that where you sit too?
I think I'm about there as well. So we had Shehan Jeharaja jump on Monday, essentially recap Big 12 Media Days. He was down there in Frisco. Interviewing
looking sharp as always,
interviewing everybody, and he came on with Scotty and the coach on Monday, and he made a point that really, really stuck with me, and it was essentially paraphrasing it here a little bit. It was essentially the middle and the lower pack of the Big 12, because of the way that they presented themselves, because of the energy that he felt from coaches, from players amongst those programs. He felt that there is a real possibility that the bottom and the middle of the Big 12 is a lot better than I think that people are anticipating it to be. Essentially, in the sense that I felt that coming into the season that there is parity, and Shehan essentially says the same thing, that there's going to be some sleeper teams that nobody's talking about this offseason that might come in and surprise some people.
I don't buy it, honestly.
You don't buy it?
Know. Last year, dude, the middle and the bottom of the Big 12 were so bad last year. I don't see how those teams are really going to make that big of a jump as far as being watchable. I don't know.
It's the transfer portal, man. You just never know. The year to year, with everybody moving, with everybody that you can bring in, plus everybody leaving to different programs, like it really feels like, especially for the teams who have major turnover, you just never really know until the players are on the field and you get to see those teams go out there and perform.
I am excited to see how Drew Mestemaker and the crew do at Oklahoma State. I think that's an interesting pickup.
That's
right?
one of the teams that everybody's talking about, and I'm not sure if people are overvaluating or overrating, I guess, the Oklahoma State the Oklahoma State Cowboys because of the transfers they brought in, because of the coaching staff they brought in. I don't think that Oklahoma State's going to be in a spot where they don't win a single conference game like they have the last 2 years.
No, that's going to be Iowa
better.
State.
Yeah, they'll obviously be better, but I just don't know how much better this Oklahoma State team will actually be.
Well, what I mean to get at, as far as talking about the middle and the bottom of the Big 12 not being competitive, is thank goodness that BYU and Utah are not in that conversation, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we're talking about two teams. Honestly, if BYU or Utah is in the Big 12 Conference Championship, 6 months from now, nobody's going to be surprised. So thankfully, we don't have to worry about what the rest of the conference looks like. I know they've got some matchups against some of those teams, but then you look at other teams like TCU and like where they're going to end up at, and they brought another transfer quarterback in, and how good does that make them? Can they take that next step forward? And the Utes and Cougars both play TCU. But honestly, 5 teams I mentioned earlier, Tech, BYU, Utah, Arizona, and Houston. I'd be really surprised if the champion of the conference is not one of those 5 teams, right? Absolutely. And if any other team is playing in the conference championship, I would be surprised.
We are live at the ballpark at America First Square. Happy to welcome in our next guest, Karina Nelson, VP of Baseball Operation here at the ballpark. Karina, how's it going? Thanks for joining us.
Wonderful. Thank you for having us.
Tell us about some of these youth clinics, right? And I guess what they do out there, some of the things that they do with the players and how they get involved out there on the field. I mean, we can see them doing stuff right now.
We can. No, this is one of our most exciting days. Play ball weekend. We have different types of clinics. I'm sure you're going to hear throughout the day today with some of our interviews, but it's really special. And what's really special is our clubhouse too. And I'd like to take just a minute to kind of talk about them, because I think clubhouse culture translates onto the field. And when it translates onto the field for days like this, that gets the kids excited to participate in something, but shows that baseball is more than just coming out and playing a game. And it's more than just the experience on game nights. It extends beyond that. And I think that was also why this ballpark was created, was for it to be a gathering place to create spaces for kids to just be active. Come have fun. Come learn about the sport. But the sport's more about, teamwork, collaboration, communication. Staying active, doing those types of things. And I think our clubhouse has just really embraced that with our coach, who you're going to speak to here in just a little bit. He's amazing. He's been so incredible to work with. And then having them go out there on the field. These players are out there teaching the kids how to pitch. We have Caden Dana out there today, who's just amazing and has gone out there with the Utah Talents too. And so, shout out to them and everything that they're doing. But then we have, Yolmer Sánchez, and you'll talk to him a little bit later. And all of the things that they're doing and teaching these kids is, not about the perfect pitch, not about the perfect, hitting of the ball or the catching of the ball or the right position. Although those things are important, and certainly they'll focus and help those kids be able to do that. Since we have such varying ages, it's important that we're teaching these kids that the sport is just about going out there and be the best version of yourself. And I think I love that the most, honestly. It's just about belonging. And I think that's an incredible part. If we look back at, Miller Sports and Entertainment, I think it's a gathering place. It's a place to belong. It's a place to belong on game nights, but it's also a place to belong to just enjoy something that you're passionate about and just continue to do that throughout all the different ages and stages here within this community. It's amazing.
Why are hands-on experiences like this so important for young athletes like the ones that we see here today? Yeah,
I think inspiration, right? We get to see the kids and these guys that we come out and watch play baseball on Sunday afternoon, Friday nights, Tuesday family night, and they get to see them, and then they get to be out on the field and interact with them, and it just becomes more of a reality. And I think when kids are inspired by people that they look up to and people that they get to see on TV or people that they watch out in the crowd, and they get excited, and then they're out there and they're interacting with them, that's a dream come true for these little kids. And I know that our athletes, they're so humble and they're like, oh, we're just a AAA player. But the Salt Lake Bees, we've had 28 players playing up with the Angels this year. Some of those, Caden Dana's played with the Angels. Yolmer's got, a gold glove with the White Sox. All of these amazing things. And these kids are down there interacting with them and playing with them and learning from them. And I think that's the most important part, is to feel inspired and that it's not out of reach. Just go for it.
And that's something, that these kids are going to remember for the rest of their lives. I remember, some of those opportunities I had when I was little, and they're going to be able to tell their kids about it and oh yeah, I had this opportunity to go play, on the big brand new baseball field. And with, Yolmer Sánchez is a name, as you mentioned, right? Yeah. I'm super excited to talk to him later. How can families get the kids involved with this? Is there a website they go to? What are some of the details like that?
Yeah. Definitely go to thesaltlakebees.com. You can go to the ballpark at afs.com. Go to any of those places. We'll link you to every aspect that you need, and for play ball, for youth sports, for kids clinics, for any of these one-offs. And it's an incredible experience. You're going to hear from Peter next, who has even more information about that. He's just an incredible youth programs manager. He's passionate about what he does. And so we look to just make youth sports accessible for anybody who just wants to participate. You don't have to be, going to baseball clinics outside of everyday life. If you're just passionate about playing a sport and being active, come to one of our clinics. And we do our clinics for girls too. If you're a softball player, come on out. If you've never played before, you've never thrown a ball, please come hang out with us. Come have a little fun. That's what this is about.
Why is I guess expanding this, or having kids come out here, why is it so important to make sure that the kids are involved in getting ready, or and have this first-hand opportunity of getting involved in the game of baseball?
Yeah, I think baseball is one of those unique sports that just has a wild amount of diversity. Mm-hmm. And I think feeling included, like you belong. We have a strong population of our players that speak Spanish, and some of them are, that English isn't their native language. It's not their first language. And so for me, also being, bilingual and having, a parent that's from, Jalisco, Mexico, and seeing other players that are achieving and being a part of something, I think baseball, and what's incredible about it is that it's just diverse. And it doesn't matter your abilities. It doesn't matter. A lot of different things don't really matter, honestly. You can just go out there and have fun. And I think that's what Miller Sports and Entertainment, youth sports programming, Utah Sports Giving Day, I think what it is just wanting to make sure that it's an inclusive sport, that it's a sport where you can feel like you can belong, that it doesn't matter what your abilities are, you can just come and be a part of something great.
And have fun, right? Like,
absolutely.
What sort of, like, I guess, growth and confidence do you see in some of these kids that come out here and maybe they're unsure when they first walk through the door, and then they get out there and they're throwing the ball around and they're making friends with, all these other kids their age, but then also, again, like the opportunity to hang out with some of these players? Like, what does that do for, a kid?
Everything.
Yeah.
It's everything. And honestly, one of my all-time favorite things about my job, I have no doubt that my job is one of the greatest jobs out there. I'm very, very fortunate. I have an incredible team of people that help support, but I've seen the impact of what this particular program can do for kids. And you get these shy little girls out there on the field, that are nervous about, I don't want to throw the ball the wrong way, or I don't want it to look funny, or I don't know if I can hit the ball. Yeah. It's scary. It's really scary. And I've had my own moments in sports too, as, a female growing up in a sports and entertainment dominated world. And so, being able to see these little girls run out onto the field with their pink gloves and their shiny baseball or their softball and go out there and just interact. And, today we have them down there with Caden Dana, and he's teaching these girls and these boys how to, throw a ball, and being able to look up to him and for him to encourage them and inspire them, and just the person that he is. He's just telling them, try again. It's great. You're just learning. And that, I think, speaks volumes. And it's translated off the field, too. When these, individuals from all different ages can go out onto the field, and we all are a little tired, intimidated, and then they leave the field, that translates into the classroom, that translates into their home environment, that translates into how they're going to grow up and shape themselves as a human being. And I've been able to participate in that, and I feel really fortunate, and it's amazing to see.
That's so cool.
Is there anything else that you'd like people to know about the Salt Lake Bees commitment to youth programs and about the upcoming Utah Youth Sports Giving Day?
Yeah. I know you just heard from Jenny Teamsma. She's amazing. This has been an incredible program to just watch her lead out on alongside all of our wonderful executive team. I would say that Utah Sports Giving Day just embodies what Miller Sports and Entertainment is and what the Larry H. Miller Company is. It's about giving back, identifying opportunities to just create something bigger than ourselves. And I'm so blessed. I've been with the organization for 21 years, and I wouldn't imagine being anywhere else because of what our mission, vision, and values are, what our principles are, what we're looking for. And I would just say that the Salt Lake Bees and our commitment to that is to continue to provide incredible experiences on and off the field. Our players aren't just showing up here. They're showing up within the community, and they're showing up in really big ways. And same with our incredible coaching staff. They're just dedicated to creating space for people to just fall in love with the professional sport of baseball. And I think that baseball just has a great and strong, bright future. And I hope that that future continues to grow here in Utah.
I love it. Karina, thanks so much for taking some time today to jump on a headset and give us all this information. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. There is Karina Nelson, VP of Baseball Operations, here for the Salt Lake Bees, giving you all the information that you need to know about Bees youth programming and about the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day. We're here live at the ballpark at America First Square, and there are some... we haven't had a chance yet, Christian, in a couple of weeks because of whether it was media days or whether it was something along those lines. We haven't had a chance to really jump into one of our new favorite segments, and that's Rumor Has It. There are some rumors out there on the rumor mill that we need to get to. So, Sean, fire it up. We got Rumor Has It. Rumor has it. Legault needs to make lead decision. The latest coming out from the camp of LeBron James is, of course, the fact that he's still mum on his decision, and he riles up the 76ers fans with the quote-unquote trust the process slogan.
What did he say? I missed this.
You missed this?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly what the event was. I'm not sure exactly.
It was probably Fanatics Fan Fest. That was going on yesterday, and that's where a lot of the latest news and information and rumors are coming from.
And we'll get to another situation that happened with Fanatics. But essentially, LeBron James made an appearance at some event, And it said, quote, "We don't have an announcement to make just yet. The whole world is waiting on this. They're waiting they're waiting to schedule games." And then, of course, LeBron says he's, quote, "trusting the process."
That's crazy. And that's
which is, of course, if you're unaware and if you don't know, that is the slogan that was the 76ers thing for the longest time. So the Philadelphia fans, they got excited, man.
Understandably. That's what I wanted to get, was holding up the whole schedule release thing, which is absolutely crazy. We all know that the NBA and the NHL kind of run concurrently, right? They have their seasons are almost on the exact same calendar. They take their all-star breaks around the same time. Their finals are around the same time, literally, mirroring each other. The NHL just dropped their entire schedule earlier this week. What was that, Thursday?
Yes.
We got the whole schedule release for the NHL. Adam Silver came out and admitted that they are not releasing the NBA schedule yet because it's not finalized. They are waiting on LeBron James to make his decision.
Horrible.
I understand why.
I understand why, but it's horrible that it's happening.
It's horrible that it's happening.
But it's LeBron James.
But it makes sense because it is LeBron James.
Right.
And the reason it's such a big deal is because this is probably going to be his last season. So they, not just wherever LeBron goes, but the NBA wants to have this perfect storybook ending to LeBron's career and make sure that he can hit all the highlights along the way and, all the pit stops and have his farewell tour wherever he goes. So if you are a LeBron fan, that's a good thing. It means you're probably going to see him. I would imagine he's not going to miss a whole lot of games. He's going to want to play a lot of these away games just so he can get the kiss goodbye. You remember what they give Kobe Bryant, a pair of skis, right, on his farewell thing. So I can't wait to see what Ryan Smith gives LeBron on his way out.
We talked about this a little bit last week, and essentially it just feels like LeBron is just riling everybody up. He knows. I feel like he knows where he's going. I feel like the decision in his mind has kind of already been made, and he's just enjoying everybody talking about and everybody focused on what's going to happen and what's LeBron's next move. Is it going to be Miami? Is it going to be Cleveland? Is it going to be now the 76ers? That he's riled up the 76ers fans, but I think LeBron James knows exactly what he's doing with all this, and still enjoys being in the spotlight. Still enjoys being the center of attention when it comes to the decision of where he's going to play next.
And I guess that's the question, right? Is do you buy into this little tease? Do you buy into the trust the process quote meaning anything, or do you think that he's just having fun, poking the bear a little bit, watching all of the reaction?
No, he's loving it, and he's loving poking the bear, and he's loving the reaction because at this event that he was, obviously fans get riled up, people start cheering. There's a mix of cheers and there's a mix of cheers and boos from Philly fans, and then LeBron responds to that saying, "I've been saying, quote, trust the process since I was drafted in like 2003. I don't know if Embiid was even born yet." Right,
I forgot. I always hear him say that.
Right. And so,
what quote was it? There was a quote in an interview where somebody said something. He's like, "That's one of my favorite quotes." I say that all the time, and I forget what it is. But that's what LeBron does.
Exactly.
That's his whole shtick. Is like he sits there and has a book in his locker room. It's on chapter 1. You ask him how far he's read. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like halfway through." They're like, "Oh, what's your favorite part about the book?" And he's just like, he just fibs you.
Exactly.
This is LeBron James. This is what he does. He has not been saying trust the process since 2003. I don't believe that for a second. I don't think he's going to Philly, though.
I don't think he's going to Philly either.
I truly think he's going to Cleveland.
I thought Miami there for a second, but the latest coming out of Miami, it might not be happening. I thought that he would want to go partner up with Giannis down there in South
What's the
Beach.
latest? Did Miami say no?
No, I think Pat Riley and them are still interested. I did see a tweet come out yesterday that was essentially like Miami might not be a destiny anymore for LeBron James. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see where LeBron James ends up going. Sean, fire it up. What's next? Gary Trent Jr. This is this was an interesting story that I saw come across my Twitter feed yesterday, and it was that the NBA is now investigating the Bucks' 4-year deal with Gary Trent Jr. for a possible salary cap circumvention. obviously the big story coming out earlier in the week was the fact that Kawhi Leonard and that trade is on hold as the NBA investigates the aspiration and the possible salary cap circumvention. Now we have another player under investigation. That's Gary Trent Jr. and the Milwaukee Bucks for this 4-year, $64 million deal that Gary Trent has now signed.
That's crazy. So the backstory, right? He signed a vet minimum last offseason to go to Milwaukee, and the thought was, they were trying to go all out to appease Giannis and be competitive one more time with Giannis Antetokounmpo as the face of the franchise. So they brought in decent vet, and they, somehow got him to take a minimum. And when he first took the minimum deal, everybody was like, oh, that's pretty surprising that Gary Trent Jr. is already like a vet minimum player. You thought he had a couple more years of earning power, but then he plays in Milwaukee and frankly wasn't great. He averaged, I think, 8 points a game and like 1 rebound, and that was it. So it's like, okay, that is a vet minimum player. And his 1-year deal was up, and then he signs this 4-year, $64 million deal. It's like $15 million a year for a dude that was coming off the bench, averaging 8 points and 1 rebound. That doesn't make sense at all. So the thought is that, when they brought Gary Trent Jr. in last year, they're like, hey, we're trying to make this work with Giannis one last time. If you agree to take a vet minimum this year, we'll reward you a year from now with a contract, which, of course, is against the rules. You cannot do that. So it's understandable that the NBA is going to investigate this. I honestly don't know how you can come to any sort of concrete finding aside from just putting 2 and 2 together, but that's not going to,
It's not going to fly.
But just putting 2 and 2 together isn't any sort of evidence
exactly
that this happened. So honestly, I don't know if the Bucks or Gary Trent Jr. is going to get punished for this, but it does raise some eyebrows. And frankly, I don't know. I think this happens all the time.
Another one real quick is the NFL suspends Cardinals executive for violating gambling policy. So the Arizona Cardinals personnel executive Ryan Gold suspended indefinitely for violating the league's gambling policy. And the unfortunate thing I think here, Christian, is just the fact that we are going to continue to see these type of storylines pop up across sports with how easily accessible the gambling, the apps, right, the gambling things that you can pull up on your phone, how easily accessible all this is. And now you have a personal executive from the Arizona Cardinals who is indefinitely suspended, coming off the heels of the Brendan Sorsby situation.
What's funny about this is, I don't know, I get that it has been pertinent, the gambling stuff, this summer because of Brendan Sorsby and his situation with Texas Tech. But, we were talking about the quarterback show on Netflix, and one of the players they're highlighting this season is Cam Ward on the Titans. And he's got a couple of highlight throws to Calvin Ridley. And it's like, oh, yeah, Calvin Ridley. I remember when he was on the Falcons, and then I start thinking, it's like, oh, he was suspended. What was he suspended for? Yep. And it's, he was suspended an entire year.
That's right.
For gambling, betting on Atlanta Falcons games. I think that was in 2021, so 5 years ago. And he's still playing, but, I don't know. This has been going on for a long time. I think the players have always been gambling on sports illegally. It's just a matter of not getting caught. And now I think you're just more likely to get caught.
Yeah,
is the thing. I don't think it's an uptick of, more and more people are breaking the rules, more and more people are doing this. I think it's just the same amount of people are doing it. Now you're getting caught.
We're live here at the ballpark at America First Square. We have Peter Callahan for the Youth Programs Manager coming up next here on the Saturday Show. We'll jump in and we'll talk more about the Utah Sports Given Away on the other side of the break. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome back into the Saturday Show. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles, Christian Esparza. We're here live at the ballpark at America First Square, and we are extremely excited to welcome in our next guest. It is Peter Callahan, the Youth Programs Manager here for the Salt Lake Bees. And Peter, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us.
Good. Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
This is awesome, man. We've been talking earlier. We talked to Jenny first and then Karina earlier about some of the things going on with the Salt Lake Bees and how they get involved with the community. So tell us, we were talking a little bit off air. Tell us about the Kids Club.
Yeah, so Kids Club, it's a $30 membership. It's for kids 2 to 12. Anyone's welcome to join. And really it's an initiative to get more families, get more kids to come back to the ballpark. So $30, you get a cool T-shirt. We got a couple different colors. You get a $5 ticket to every home game the rest of the season. So really,
deal.
yeah, you come back to one game, you'll save money, and then you get some discounts at concessions in the team store. The whole family gets to use, and then you get access to some exclusive events like the kids clinic we're putting on today.
Awesome. How does the Kids Club help make baseball more accessible for families and more accessible for the kids in the community?
Yeah, for sure. I would say kind of the easiest way, and this is how I fell in love with the game, is to go to the ballpark, even if it's just for the cotton candy or the peanuts. But then the free clinics we put on, being able to be down on the field, it's pretty special. We have quite the facility here, and so the kids being able to touch the grass, touch the dirt, stand where the major leaguers, the minor leaguers play, and kind of learn from them for free is kind of a really cool initiative, and we're really glad to be able to put it on.
So speaking of the clinics, we've got one going on right now. When's the next one? What are some of the dates that, if there are any parents out there listening and maybe not able to make it to today's, but they're really interested, what are some of the next ones coming up?
Absolutely. So we have 2 more coming up this summer. We have one on August 22nd, and then we'll have another one in conjunction with our baseball in Salt Lake event. So we have some teams from the Mexican League coming up in September, and so we'll host another free event on a September Saturday.
And those are free?
Yes, free to the public, free to everyone. The best way to get in touch would be to go to the SLB's website. There's a youth programs tab, and you can find my email and my information there. Just get in contact with me, and I'm happy to get you out to the ballpark.
That's awesome. Another event that you told us that I'm really pumped up and fired up about is that you were telling us here off air a little bit was the Play Ball Weekend. What can you tell us about that, and what are you looking forward to for that event?
Yeah, so those happen every June. So we just hosted that one. We have another one coming up, obviously next June, but we're really proud of that event. Out of, I want to say, 120 minor league teams, we typically rank in like the top 5 for attendance, and so that's an
That's awesome.
Entirely free clinic, 2 days, Friday, Saturday. Saturday is actually softball specific. Got to give some love to the girls in the softball community in the state as well. About a month ago, we hosted around 700 kids between 2 days out on the ballpark, free clinic. They get to learn from the players. We have quite a few local high school and college kids that come out, and it's really just kind of a cool opportunity for the whole community of Utah baseball and softball to come together.
So it's not just, kids, it's for all ages, it sounds like.
So the clinic itself is for kids, and then we actually have the high schooler and college kids help staff.
Okay, they help staff.
Yeah, and it's a fun opportunity for them to give back. A lot of them, have done various clinics, but then they also get to sign autographs, and it's pretty funny seeing the high schoolers sign their first autograph. Not quite sure what to write, but then they figure it out.
Okay. What's the goal behind creating so many, you got all these clinics and all of these ways for the Salt Lake Bees to get involved with the community, What is the goal?
Yeah, I think the kind of overarching goal is really just to grow the game of baseball and softball. So trying to provide different entry points, whether it's a one-day clinic or through our partner leagues with rec centers, the Junior Bees leagues, really just giving the community an opportunity to get out, learn the game of baseball, become familiar with it. I think it's a game that really anyone of all ages can enjoy. And so really having various different programs where people can enter based on their, time availability and things like that.
Is there anything else you would like people to know about the Salt Lake Bees' commitment to youth sports and about the upcoming Utah Youth Sports Giving Day?
Yeah, I think one of the things that with the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day is really just introducing as many kids as we can to the games. And so one of the initiatives that we've taken up in the last few years, it's called Fun at Bat. Essentially, it's a PE curriculum that's entirely free to schools. So schools apply through our website, through USA Baseball, and they get sent a free equipment kit, free lesson plans. And at this point, we're happy to say that it's in 120 schools, about 70,000 kids in those schools. And so just another way to kind of introduce the game to kids and get kids active and kind of introduce the benefits of sports.
That's awesome. I love it.
Peter, we appreciate your time today, man. Thanks for jumping on and giving us all this fantastic information, man.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate the time. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Peter.
There's Peter Callahan, Youth Programs Manager here for the Salt Lake Bees, giving you more information live from the ballpark about the initiative the Salt Lake Bees are taking to help you in the community get involved with the game of baseball and, of course, get involved with the upcoming Utah Youth Sports Giving day. A lot of fun things still happening here at the ballpark as we roll into the second hour of the show. We are anticipated the Bees manager, Doug Davis, will jump on the air, and we'll talk the Salt Lake Bees as well as a little bit more about this community, the community outreach, and then we'll have a Bees player jumping on with us, Christian.
Rumor has it it's going to be Yolmer Sanchez.
Ooh, I'm
excited. I'm excited to talk to him. He is a dog. If you kept up with Bees baseball at all, listening to the highlights, you hear our guy Tony Parks here on the loudspeaker conducting this event right now. But Yolmer Sanchez has probably the most highlights that we have saved in the computer.
Probably.
Very, very good player for the Bees this season. I'm excited to talk to him.
Absolutely. That's coming up on the other side. We'll take a break. Doug Davis expected to join us next here on the Saturday Show, live from the ballpark at America First Square. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We all have routines. I'm Jabron, and with diabetes, mine was finger sticks. Sometimes I skip them because they hurt. The Freestyle Libre 3CGM changed that. It gives me glucose insights without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Finger sticks are required if your glucose alarms or readings do not match symptoms, or when you see check blood glucose symbol for the first 12 hours. The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
Welcome back into the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles and Christian Esparza, thank you for making us a part of your Saturday morning. We're here live at the ballpark at America First Square, and we are very excited to welcome in our next guest. It is Doug Davis from the Salt Lake Bees. Doug, how's it going, man? Thanks for taking the time to join us.
Oh, my pleasure. I appreciate you guys having me on. Everything's good.
Absolutely good. That's great to hear. How's the season going for you guys so far?
It's been a good season for us. I mean, we're very excited about. I think where we're at right now. AAA baseball is a funny thing. It changes day to day. You're kind of relying upon what the major league team's doing, and when there's change up there, there's change here. But we've kind of kept a nice core group of guys around. We've been able to send a bunch of guys to the big leagues, and they've been contributors for the Angels. And that's kind of what the priority is here.
Absolutely.
And that's what we want.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think as a AAA manager, success for you isn't just about winning games. It's also about making sure these guys develop and making sure they're ready for the majors when that opportunity comes. And so, how have you seen the development from some of these guys that you get to work with every day?
Well, I think the development process here has gone terrific. I mean, from our coaching staff, the guys that have been here before in previous years, this being my first year, I was kind of easing into it. I wanted to make sure everybody who was here before kind of did what they were used to, and then, I would add whatever I could to help the process a little bit. But again, when you see our players, our young players, our Angel players go to the big leagues, like Guzman and Natera and guys that go up there for the first time and they jump right in, and like I said, they just contribute. I think that's huge for the organization, and it certainly makes us feel good about what we're doing here, and we know that's the plan, we know that's the process, and our daily preparation is just kind of focused on that and trying to make sure that these guys know when whatever they're doing here, when they go to the big leagues, it doesn't change. It's just an easy transition. They just go up there to just a different place, different uniform.
You mentioned, this being your first season here with the Bees. You come over from the Round Rock Express. What are your first impressions of Salt Lake City? What's it been like for you getting acclimated here and with this franchise and organization?
Well, being with Round Rock and coming in here the last 3 years as a visiting team and as a staff member on a visiting team, the one thing about me and about a lot of the coaches that we had in Round Rock is that we were very willing and to go do things, no matter where we were. So, I've fly fished the Provo River. I've taken hikes on a lot of different trails, in the mountains. So I've tried to do a lot of things around here, and then coming here and being able to be here, on a more regular basis, it's just it's been even that much more exciting and fulfilling for me to just see what Salt Lake City's all about, but just to enjoy the things that the city offers us.
We've been lucky enough to talk to some of the people within the organization. We talked to Jenny Teamsma earlier, Karina Nelson, VP of Baseball Operations, and Peter Callahan, who has a hand in the youth programs. And they've all talked about the culture in the clubhouse and how positive it is, not only for the players, but also for the community and also for the families and the kids that you see here today. And what kind of culture are you building in that clubhouse this season for you and your guys?
Well, this is year 43 for me in professional baseball. So I actually signed and was drafted by the California Angels at the time. So I've kind of felt like I was an angel when I came here. I've actually tried to get back here at different times in my career, and it finally worked out. But I think culture's huge, for us. Baseball is a very difficult game to play well, and the skill that's required, so I think you have to go into this looking to just try and enjoy yourself, have fun, prepare, do all that. But when you go out there to compete, just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride, because you never know how long it's going to last. So we try to make the clubhouse, very fun for the guys to be a part of, and they are. They enjoy themselves in there. The music's playing, they're playing ping pong, they're doing other things to just try to sometimes keep your mind off the game a little bit. And then, like I said, once you prepare, it's about going out there and enjoying the opportunity to be able to be a professional baseball player and showcase your skills.
You had some time off this week because of the All-Star break a little bit. Got back into the swing of things. A win over Reno last night coming into town. How do you see things playing out, I guess, over the rest of this series and then the I guess, second leg of the season for your squad?
Well, I think it's a unique time of the year. You get to the All-Star break, and I think it's just, being able to step back for a few days. Most of the guys go home, wherever that may be, and just, rest for a few days just to kind of recharge the batteries. And then you kind of work toward the trade deadline, which impacts AAA, usually. You don't know what, that may look like, because I think at the major league level, all those people, the front offices, they're trying to prepare and do whatever they can to positively impact their teams. Sometimes buying, sometimes selling, whatever that looks like. So in some ways it's going to impact this team. So that's part of it. And then once we get past that trade deadline, then you're basically less than 2 months away from the end of the season. So I think our focus right now has turned a little bit more toward winning, to be honest with you, because, again, like I said, preparation is kind of the focus most of the year in sending guys to the big leagues. But once we get to that trade deadline and they've made all of those changes, there's not a lot of change that happens after that. So, my thought process is, well, let's do everything we can to try to find ways to win baseball games and see where that puts us at the end of the season.
Love to hear it.
Utah Sports has an incredibly passionate fan base. What is it like for you to come out here at the new ballpark, no less, come out here and see the families come in night in and night out, support you guys, and how are you guys receptive to the fan base that you guys have built here in Daybreak?
Well, when I got here, or even before that, when I talked to Karina and some of the other people in the front office, and I think last year being the first year of a brand new stadium, you never know how year number 2 is going to go. Yeah. And I told her, I said, Karina, it's going to be better than last year, I promise you. and I think it has. Once we got to really into May and the weather turned, that's somewhat a part of it, I think. Yes. Early in the year, when you're getting snow, and
those April snowstorms.
Yeah, I only live a mile away, and I walk here a lot and really enjoy the walk. But sometimes I was walking into a 30-mile-an-hour wind and snowflakes. So once we got past that, the fan base has been tremendous, and I was really shocked. You go into Tuesday games, and sometimes that first game of the week, you never know who's going to show up. But we've had tremendous crowds all week, probably for the last month and a half, at least 2 months. So, really excited about that. I know the Bees are very excited, and they've kept it right up. And I think we play a very exciting brand of baseball, and I think that lends to people being excited about the team as well. So, like for me, it's just gone extremely well. I think it's gone very well for the Bees, and hopefully we can continue to put a good product out there on the field and make it very exciting for our fan base.
So speaking of that, we are here talking about some of these clinics that the Bees have going on. And speaking of the community and getting involved with the community, how important is that for your team to be involved with the kids here in Daybreak and in this general, Salt Lake area?
Well, I think for all sports industries, it's extremely important to, have that outreach and be able to get kids to come to these events, clinics, no matter what sports industry it is, and certainly for baseball. When I walked in here and I saw, all of the kids on the field, and I don't know how many's out there, but hundreds. That I think that makes me feel good. I know it makes the players feel good. There are players out there that are trying to help and just give some of their time and any kind of instruction that they can. And I think for young kids, when they have the opportunity to see that sort of piques their interest, and as they grow up, maybe a passion takes over, and that's what we want. I think for all sports industries, we want kids to be passionate and to be able to pick something that they really enjoy. And if it's baseball, great. If it's soccer, great. If it's basketball, great. Whatever it may be, there's a lot of different things for them. So this is extremely important for me. It's a part of I think what we do from a professional standpoint, and we want to certainly give back as much as people have given to us.
Manager of the Salt Lake Bees, Doug Davis, here joining us on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Doug, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We really appreciate it, and it's always great catching up, and it's always fun to be out here at the ballpark. So thanks for jumping on.
It's my pleasure, and I really appreciate you guys asking me to be a part of this.
Oh yeah, we love it. This is awesome. 6:35 first pitch tonight, by the way. Game 2 against the Aces in this series. So good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Doug Davis, manager for the Salt Lake Bees, joining us here as we roll on live from the ballpark at America First Square. And excited to be out here watching all these kids and being able to talk to people involved in the organization as they the community outreach and as the season rolls on. Thrilling win last night for the Salt Lake Bees, and then tonight they're back at it. Get your tickets if you haven't.
Thanks again. Good talking to you. We mentioned the All-Star break earlier this week and how that impacts, obviously, the AAA affiliates and stuff. And I think it was really interesting hearing about the trade deadline. And, you think about the MLB trade deadline and what's going to go on in the big leagues. But, Doug was mentioning how that impacts organizations like the Bees and all of the affiliates and who's going to be buyers and sellers. And at the end of the day, you know what I like to hear, Alex? He said, I think that's going to make our focus more on winning baseball games.
Absolutely. And that's winning. I was having this conversation with Tim yesterday, and it's winning changes things. And winning, when you win, I feel like it's a lot easier to build a fun culture and build a culture that people want to come be a part of. And winning really solves a lot. And so if the Bees are out here winning in front of their home fans, I can't imagine this place not being packed with everybody wanting to come out here and enjoy some Salt Lake Bees baseball, man. We're having a great time out here, and it's fun to be a part of this.
It is country weekend for the Salt Lake Bees, by the way. Again, we mentioned 6:35 first pitch tonight. If you can't make it out, you can catch every Salt Lake Bees game on the Zone as well, obviously. Longtime partners there, but come out to the stadium, man. This is great. You and I were talking. Neither of us have been out here before. We were talking to Peter Callahan earlier. I've been to the Aviators ballpark in Summerlin, Nevada, Las Vegas Aviators. Very, very nice ballpark. Very new, very modern. You walk in here, and it's a step above. Throwing a little shade at the rivals over there.
Absolutely.
But it's Peter mentioned that the architects were the same people, so it's very similar to the stadium out there in Vegas. But the amenities here are major league, and
Absolutely.
that was a big draw when they were building this thing. They don't want it to feel like a minor league ballpark. They want you to walk in and feel like you are getting a major league experience out here in Daybreak. And we mentioned everything else going on here, in the Miller Square and what they want to do. And it really does feel like this ballpark is the main attraction.
It's the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles and Christian Esparza, as we are anticipating a Bees player to join us in the next segment. Real quick, want to transition back. Christian, you mentioned it earlier. There's an interview that rookie sensation Darren Peterson did on NBA Today. It gave a lot of really great information, and I'm curious to hear his full comment about the ball handling situation and how he's going to handle that. And so while we have a moment here, let's listen to Darren Peterson and hear what he had to say on NBA Today about the Summer League and about the Utah Jazz.
I love when we see top picks play not just a game or two at Summer League, but really stay in the lineup, and you have certainly been doing that. Can you tell us a little bit about that decision? What made you want to have such a long run in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I haven't played a game since March, so to be able to go out there and compete with these guys was something I wanted to do, and I had a ton of fun doing it.
Well, it looks like it, and you said in one of your post-game interviews that as well, that you're back having fun on the court. What exactly is your definition of that? What does that mean when you say you're back having fun?
I'm feeling healthy, and I'm feeling like I'm back to being 100%. So that makes it fun for me when I can go out there and give it my 100% every time.
It's fun for fans, too, I think, to watch. And we've also seen a massive spike in your assist numbers in Las Vegas compared to the year you spent at Kansas. Do you see yourself as the Utah Jazz's point guard of the future now?
I think more combo. Me and Keontae can both play on or off it, so either or.
Oh, it was about to be Coach Keontae, right? Keontae George was close to be coaching you at Summer League. That didn't quite happen, but he is spending a lot of time around this Summer League group. What have you all been talking about learning from one another?
He's telling me it's a long season, so get these games in and get as much game reps as you can now, because I'm going to be thrown into that fire when the season comes. So just try to prepare as much as possible now.
What are you most excited about teaming up with Keontae George?
Just learn as much as possible from him. He's done everything I wanted to do. He's been in the league 4 years now, going into 4 years. So just picking his brain and learn as much as possible.
When we talk about this Utah Jazz team, I do think there is I won't say expectation, but maybe a hope that this is the year that this group returns to playoff contention. Is that an open dialogue that you have with your new teammates?
For sure. That's definitely something we talk about a lot, and definitely a goal of ours. And I'm going to try to do everything I can to help be a part of that.
And part of that is film study, when you're doing everything you can. And I was watching an interview, I don't know if you saw this, that your coach Will Hardy did with our Tim McMahon. And he detailed that right after your Summer League, you know exactly where I'm going with this, right after your Summer League debut, you all sat down to watch some film, and he took a little detour in that film session. Can you just tell us the story? What happened?
Yeah, we watched some film on Ed Reed. It was just a player he said he wants me to be like on defense. And I didn't know who he was. Actually, I'm a Bengals fan. So he showed me, and now I know exactly what he meant. Like, he's light on his feet. He's making a ton of plays on defense. So definitely was huge.
Well, and so you were watching highlights of yourself, and then all of a sudden, how many minutes of NFL highlights were you watching after that?
I think we went a good 10 minutes of football film.
You're like, all right, I get it. I mean, we're going over to the football, too. I'm going to be versatile here, and I'm understanding what you're saying. But he's not the only Hall of Famer that you are studying, or maybe that you are looking up to in this. You've mentioned Kobe Bryant as someone who you consider, even in Summer League, when you're suiting up for all of these games, when you know that a fan has showed up to see you. How do you think of Kobe when you're doing something like that?
I think it's easy for some people to say, like, it's just Summer League, like, just go out there and play. But my mindset was go out here, try to get better, and try to help my team win every game. Obviously, we went down some, but my goal every time was to go out there and get better. So that's something Kobe was. He wanted to get better every day. So I just follow stuff like that.
We're nearing the point where we're going to see the NBA schedule released here in the next couple of weeks. Is there a game or a team that you are going to have circled as soon as the schedule comes out?
Right now, all of them. I'm just looking forward to playing everybody. There's somebody on every team that I'm excited to play against. So I'm just looking forward to the season and super excited for it.
Last thing before I let you go. We were talking yesterday about you on the show, and I think one of the things we all appreciate already is how hard you play. And you've said, even when there's 10 fouls that you get at Summer League, you're going to set the tone early. You're smiling big. Why? What's the mindset there?
Yeah, that was my mindset. They told us we get 10 fouls, so I shouldn't let anybody get any layups or any easy buckets. If I get 10, like I said, I'm going out with 9.
There you go. That is Darren Peterson again with NBA Today. Love how you can't talk to Darren Peterson without drawing the Kobe questions, and then I feel like that's going to stick with him now that he's put the Kobe Bryant stuff at the forefront.
I just hope he doesn't get annoying about it like Jason Tatum.
Yes, that's kind of where I'm going with it.
The tattoo thing is cool, and it's
great, yeah.
I don't have a problem with a player idolizing one of the greatest to ever play. There is absolutely no problem with that, but just don't make it your whole personality. Yeah. And I'm not saying that Darren is doing that. I'm just saying that Jason Tatum has, and that has really turned me off of him. You can idolize a player and want to be great and incorporate certain elements of their greatness into your own game without completely wanting to do exactly and copy that. You think of Jason Tatum, he texted Kobe Bryant's phone number after he had passed away. Like, that's corny. I'm sorry. That's weird.
It's a little weird.
What else did he do?
It's different too to it's different too to maybe be I don't know, sympathetic about the situation, but instead he says, "Don't worry, I've got it from here" in his text, which I thought was a little which I thought was weird.
That's odd.
Yeah.
And then copying like the Kevin Garnett, anything is possible, but he didn't even do it right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just taking this time to bag on Jason Tatum.
I get it. As far as Darren Peterson goes, love, he presents himself so well. I think in interviews, you heard it there with that one. You've heard it with everything that he's done for the Utah Jazz so far, and I think everybody in Salt Lake is really, really pumped up, man, to be able to have Darren Peterson in market and to be able to see how he grows into that potential franchise-changing player that I think everybody wants him to be.
I think the big takeaway from Darren Peterson's first couple months here in Salt Lake City, or as a member of the Jazz, is his relationship with Keontae George. And, you hear him asked about his role as the ball handler, point guard, is he going to be off ball? But you hear him bring up his mentor, Keontae George, already, which is crazy. I mean, we're talking about a player going into his 4th year in the NBA, but he's already this mentor level for another young player. And I think that speaks volumes to Keontae's growth as an NBA player, but also as a member of the Jazz and the true face of the organization. And I know that drafting Darren Peterson number 2 overall, you've got crazy high expectations and hopes for his career. But honestly, Alex, I think it's safe to say right now Keontae George is the face of the Jazz, the face of the team. You see him behind the scenes with all these things. He's an assistant coach during Summer League. He's in the war room for the draft. I think they are very high on Keontae. They love that he is bringing this young player under his wing, and they honestly can't wait to see what Keontae George and Darren Peterson can do together on the court. And I emphasize together on the court. They're both going to have roles, right?
Absolutely. We are live here from the ballpark at America First Square. We are anticipating a conversation coming up here with Yolmer Sánchez of the Salt Lake Bees. That's coming up on the other side here on the Saturday show. It's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We all have routines. I'm Jabron, and with diabetes, mine was finger sticks. Sometimes I skip them because they hurt. The Freestyle Libre 3C GM changed that. It gives me glucose insights without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Finger sticks are required if your glucose alarms or readings do not match symptoms, or when you see check blood glucose symbol for the first 12 hours. The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Welcome back into the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles and Christian Esparza taking you through your Saturday morning. We're here live at the ballpark at America First Square, and we are very excited to welcome in our next guest, infielder for the Salt Lake Bees, Yolmer Sánchez, joining us here. Yolmer, how's it going, man?
Everything's good. It's always a good time when you can spend time in the ballpark, especially with kids, so having fun today.
Absolutely. You've had a long professional career. What is this season so far for the Salt Lake Bees, here with the Salt Lake Bees, meant for you?
Yeah, I mean, every year for a player, but I'm going to give you my opinion, it's kind of the same. If you're in the big league and you're in AAA, you just try to have a good season and play good, improve that you can help the team in the big league level. So that's the goal of everybody. But when we're here, we just try to do our part and play for one another and win games,
You mentioned off air, just had the All-Star break. Everybody takes like a week off. You spent some time back in Arizona where your home is, and then now you come back and ramp up and get ready for the second half of the season. We were just talking to the manager the last segment. He said, you guys might try and win some more games down the stretch. How does that sound to you, Yvette?
Yeah, I always talk to the guys in the clubhouse, that's the main goal, Of course, we're going to go to a big league, but if we're here, let's play a good baseball and win games, And I like to win. It doesn't matter where I play. If I play in the big league, AAA, low A, I like to win. There's nothing more fun than win every night. So, yeah, we just try to win a lot of games and make the playoff, That means a lot, especially for the young guys. They excited to make the playoff and go to Las Vegas and play the championship there. So we just try to play good ball game and win games.
What keeps you motivated, man? What keeps you going every day, week in, week out? What keeps you motivated and competing every day?
Man, I still love this game. I've been doing this. I started playing baseball when I was 3.5 years old. I'm 34. I'm kind of old for this sport. But I still love this game. I'm just excited to come back to the field and play the game, especially if I see my name in the lineup. But also my kids. I have 2 kids, 7 and 12 and 11. He's going to be 12. And my oldest son, he loves baseball. He loves baseball, and every time that I call him right before the game, he just, hey, Dad, do your thing. You're the best. And
oh, that's awesome.
And I think he sees me as a role model because he loves baseball. And I think just try to be a good example for my kid and go after your dreams.
Speaking of kids, man, that's why we are out here today. Some of the kids' camps that the Salt Lake Bees have going on. As a player, what's it like, being down there on the field and you've got tens or hundreds of kids on a busy day and you're teaching them how to play the game, teaching them how to throw a baseball, teaching them to have fun and learn this sport. What's that like to be involved with this community?
Yeah, I mean, that's part. I was talking to my friend right here about that. A lot of time we forget what is being a professional. I mean, the whole concept, and it's just not play the game or play at the highest level. Is making impact in your community, making impact in other kids' life, and every time that I have the opportunity to spend time with kids, I will do it because, like I say, I don't know when is the day that I'm going to impact somebody's life, and that's part of being professional. So I take that concept and the whole thing and just try to give something back to the community because especially here, this is my second year here, and the fans here are crazy and really nice to us. They come and support every night, so I just try to give something back to the community.
What's the culture like down at the clubhouse? We've talked to many people involved in the organization. They all had really, really amazing things to say about you guys and the culture that you guys are building inside, the camaraderie, the chemistry with the team. What's the culture like inside that clubhouse for you?
We have a great relationship in the clubhouse. We have a mix of veteran guys and young guys. And the veteran guys like me and other guys, we take the role of teach the young guys how to play the game the right way, how to be a professional, and like I say, it's just not just play baseball. You have to be professional in the field and out the field, So just make sure that when they get the opportunity to play in the big league, they ready.
What is it like being one of the veterans in the clubhouse that everybody looks up to. You like you mentioned, you've been playing for a very long time. You won a Golden Glove in 2019 as a second baseman. Now you're here in Salt Lake, and everybody's looking to you for advice. A lot of young players on the team, or maybe even it's a kid out on the field. What's it like having that, I guess, respect that everybody has for you?
I mean, it feels good because I think that I earned the respect of especially the young guys in the clubhouse. And like I say, if it's not me and I can help somebody make their dream come true and make it to the big league, I'm gonna just help that kid. I know how important, especially I know how important it was for me to play in the big league. That's like my main goal when I was young. So I know how important is that. And I talk a lot with young guys. I talk a lot because, like I say, maybe wanna buy. That's what young guy need to make it to a big league and make that switch. So every time that I can help somebody impact the life, either a baseball player or a fan, I will happy to do it.
When you're obviously in the AAA level, there's a lot of focus on development and getting guys ready for when that time and that opportunity comes to move up to the majors and have an opportunity to play in the majors. What are some of the qualities that you see in some of these younger players or some characteristics that you see, whether it's in their personality, whether it's in their game, whether it's in the way that they play? What's something that sticks out to you that you see that and you say, okay, this guy's ready. When that opportunity comes, this guy will take it, and he's ready to move on and take that chance?
Yeah, I think I always see everybody's play good, felt good when the game is going well for you. But when you're struggling, that's when you show like your real personality.
Yeah.
And the way they handle themselves when they kind of struggle at the play or defense. That I think that say a lot about like if he's ready or not to play in the big league, because in the big league you're gonna fail a lot, but it's how you can get out of those bad moments and keep moving forward. And if you can do this, if you can do that here in the AAA, you're gonna be able to do it in the big league. If you don't do it here, the big league is gonna be way harder. So
absolutely.
I think that if the guys can understand like this game is really hard, but you have the opportunity the next day to prove that you can make adjustment. I think that's a quality that every organization is looking there. Okay, he can make a adjustment the next day. So I think that the attitude it say a lot.
We mentioned the community involvement with the Salt Lake Bees, and honestly, being down here in Daybreak, this part of Utah, it feels like family is such a big thing out here, and the team is really involved with that from kids of all ages. And you get to be involved with the kids club, the clinics, the play ball weekend. If you had to kind of sell that, if there's a kid listening right now or a parent listening right now, what would you say to them to get them to come out here to come to these clinics?
Okay, I will say this: if I had the opportunity, will come to come in and spend time with the kids. Just come here, we have a great team here. We play great players, great coaches, and I think one good advice can change your kid's life, and especially we have a great time here. We play ball, we sign autograph, we have fun with the kids. So, but when I was young, I don't have the opportunity to come with a clinic like this with a professional baseball player. So I know I have a son that he loves baseball, and every time that he can spend time with a baseball player, he's really happy. So just come here. We're going to have a great time, and going to make sure that your kid go back home happy.
Yolmer Sánchez joining us here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Yolmer, thank you so much for taking some time to join us today, man, and jumping on the headset. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Yolmer. Good talking to you.
Absolutely. Again, Yolmer Sánchez, infielder for the Salt Lake Bees, joining us here at 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone on the Saturday show. We're live from the ballpark at America First Square. You're doing all the kids clinics, watching all these kids enjoy some time with the baseball, and having a good time, Christian. And it's always great catching up again with Doug Davis, manager for the Salt Lake Bees, who we talked to last segment. If you missed that, you can go back, you can podcast it, listen to it wherever you get your podcast. And then, of course, the phenomenal conversation we just had there with Yolmer Sánchez, who a lot of insight. insight into what happens on in that clubhouse, a lot of insight into just how important it is for the Salt Lake Bees and their community outreach.
Well, and you mentioned, I mean, his time in the league, right? He spent time with the White Sox a very long time. He won a Golden Glove, right? So he is a very accomplished player. He's been doing this for a long time. Like, he is a name in baseball, and you think of what an incredible opportunity it is to send your kid out here and spend time with these players and get to know these players and make these memories and have these experiences that they are going to cherish and remember forever. You know,
absolutely.
Like a kid that is playing baseball or playing t-ball, even at the lowest level, is going to come out here and remember forever that time they got to learn how to pitch or learn how to throw the baseball and hang out with Sánchez and get his autograph. Like, that's special, and that's not something that everybody does.
Yep.
So the fact that the Salt Lake Bees are doing it and getting this team involved with the community down here in Daybreak and, you know, the Salt Lake area, take advantage of it. These clinics are free, and we were talking to a couple people earlier, you know, Jenny and Karina. Like, these clinics are free, and they're great, man. I wish I could be a kid again and come out here. I've got a 3-month-old at home. I can't wait until he's probably a little too young to come to these clinics now, but I can't wait until he is that age where I can take him out here and do these things and
get him
have
involved.
Fun,
Absolutely. We are anticipating one more guest to come on and jump on with us. It is Michelle Smith, the president of Miller Sports Entertainment, who, again, will jump in, talk about these youth clinics, and talk about the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day that's coming up on September 12th. Anticipating to have a conversation with her in just a moment. Christian, man, I was watching I got home last night and I was watching the Quarterback Show on Netflix. And as I was watching it, watching Cam Ward, watching Joe Flacco, watching all these quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, and Jaden Daniels, who are all part of this, all part of the quarterback season this season. I'm fired up, man, for football, for NFL. I'm excited for the Rams to get back on the field, man.
Yeah,
we're almost there.
You think they're getting Aaron Donald?
Oh, I think so.
We should have put that in the rumor mill.
We should have.
Aaron Donald. Somebody said that they saw him, like, I don't know if it was a drone or something, but they claimed to have seen Aaron Donald. It's like Sasquatch, like Bigfoot.
I did see that video,
Claimed to have seen Aaron Donald working out at the Rams facility. So, yeah, man, Rams making a big swing for Myles Garrett. If they could bring literally the franchise GOAT out of retirement to come back for one more year, make one final push with Matt Stafford and Puka, the Rams are going to be very good.
Absolutely.
You would be excited.
Absolutely. NFL preseason upon us. It's almost here, as well as the college football season, man. We're so close to getting football started again. Again, we are live here at the ballpark at America First Square, taking in some of these kid clinics that are happening today. Still plenty of kids and families hanging out, having fun, going through some of the drills and learning the game of baseball. Super fun to be out here. We are anticipating a conversation with Michelle Smith, the president of Miller Sports and Entertainment. That should be coming up on the other side. When we return, it is the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Welcome back into the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Napoles, Christian Esparza, live here at the ballpark at America First Square. Happy to welcome in our next guest here to wrap up the show, Jenny Teamsma, again joining us, the Director of Communications for Miller Sports and Entertainment. Jenny, again, just to kind of recap, give us a rundown of what the event here today is with as far as the clinics go and what we can look forward to as far as the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day goes.
Yeah, so today we had about 200 kids here at the ballpark enjoying a clinic on the field, getting to interact with our players and coaches, running the different drills on the field, and we just had a great time out here with everyone. We offer these clinics multiple times throughout the season. We have 2 left this year, one in August, one in September. You can find details on our website. It's free to sign up, and we just encourage any kids that would like to participate to come on out.
Free is always good.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, too, you think of Daybreak in this area of South Jordan, West Jordan, whatever, but you mentioned there are kids coming from as far as like Layton and Ogden. So nowhere is too far. If you want to get your kid involved and have them come out here and have a fun day with the Salt Lake Bees, an MILB team, this is something that they're going to remember for a long time. So find those dates. And you mentioned the one in September. That's with a different team other than Salt Lake Bees.
Yeah, so we are hosting our 3rd baseball in Salt Lake event, which is where we have 2 teams from the Mexican Pacific League here at our ballpark, and we host some exhibition games, and it's a fun weekend. It's during Hispanic Heritage Month and celebrating Hispanic culture and baseball in our state. And we have a mariachi band. We have some lowrider shows.
Oh, that's
we have
sweet.
a kids clinic. And then we have 2 days of games. And it's a lot of fun. So you can find out more at baseballinsaltlake.com.
Why was the Utah Youth Sports Day created? That's coming up. That's a campaign you guys are launching on September 12th. Why was it created, and what's that initiative all about?
Yeah, so we have a partner called the Daniels Fund, and they've actually done this initiative in Colorado. And they've seen a lot of success and have raised millions of dollars for youth sports nonprofits in Colorado. And they actually approached us and said, hey, we want to make this happen in Utah. And we immediately said yes. There's such a need to decrease that barrier of entry into sport and to allow all kids to have access to different types of sports. What's really cool about this campaign is it's not just football, basketball, baseball, soccer. It's also skateboarding or running or any type of sport can participate in this initiative. So September 12th is the Giving Day when that launches. And youth sports nonprofits can fundraise, and we will match up to $150,000 for each nonprofit. So nonprofits have the chance to double their money, which is really cool. And we have a lot of institutional donors here in this great state that have jointly made a match pool of $1.5 million. So the goal is $3 million for youth sports nonprofits.
That's awesome. Jenny, thank you so much for having us out here today. We really appreciate the opportunity to come out here, see the ballpark, and get people involved. Try to get people involved in this in the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day, as well as get involved in the kids club and the clinics. Where do people need to go to get more involved? Whether that's the clinics, whether that is with the Utah Youth Sports Giving Day, where can people go to find more information?
Yeah, so go to slbs.com for the kids clinic and kids club, and UtahYouthSportsGivingDay.com to sign up to participate as a nonprofit or to donate to the different nonprofits.
That's so cool. Shout out to the Salt Lake Bees for hosting us today. Shout out to the Miller Sports and Entertainment Group for, backing all of this and being the architectures of all this. This is so great for the community, and I love that sports is such an important part of, honestly, Utah's culture, and the fact that they are leaning into that and helping grow that is so cool.
Yeah, thank you so much. You couldn't have said it better. It's a key pillar of our organization, and we want to see more kids involved and just better the community.
Awesome.
The Salt Lake Bees are in action tonight as they take on the Reno Aces. 6:20 pregame, 6:35 first pitch. Come out of the ballpark, taking some Salt Lake Bees action tonight when they take on the Reno Aces following a win last night. Or you can catch all the action here on the KSL Sports Zone. Again, Jenny, we cannot thank you enough for taking the time to join us and for sharing all this amazing information. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, and go Bees.
Go Bees.
There you go.
Thanks, Jenny.
From Brant here, keeping us on air and making all the magic happen down here at the ballpark. For Sean Croshaw back in the studio, pushing the buttons, making the magic happen. I'm Alex Napoles. That's Christian Esparza. And this has been another edition of the Saturday Show. It is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.